According to a University of California study, published through Science Daily in 2025, chemical evidence locked inside a stalagmite from a Mexican cave has recorded the exact climate of the classic Maya world. Each layer of mineral preserved a season of rainfall, drought, and recovery across centuries. Scientists read it like a page-by-page diary of a vanishing civilization. At its peak, the Maya world held millions of people across towering cities of stone. Then, within a few generations, those cities emptied, palaces were abandoned, temples swallowed by jungle, and an entire civilization simply stopped. For decades, we blamed a single drought, but the newest evidence tells a darker, messier story history was slow to admit. Archaeologists call it the classic Maya collapse. Between roughly 800 and 900 Anno Domini, the great cities of the southern lowlands destabilized and were abandoned one after another. This was not a slow fade. City-states that had thrived for centuries went silent within a few generations, their monuments left half-carved. What makes it disturbing is not that they died, but how completely and how quickly the living simply walked away from everything they built. For years the answer seemed simple: drought. But in August 2025, scientists studying that Mexican stalagmite reported something unsettling. The mineral record showed the decline coincided with repeated severe wet season droughts, including one so extreme it should have devastated agriculture. Yet at another key site, other researchers found no matching drought at all. The climate story refused to line up neatly, and the more evidence they gathered, the less a single dry spell could explain. Then, in November 2025, another University of California team pushed further. Their conclusion was blunt: the Maya collapse was more than just drought. It was a cascade, where climate stress collided with overpopulation, exhausted soil, deforestation, and the crushing demands of ruling elites. Picture a society already stretched to its breaking point, then hit by drought after drought. No single blow killed the Maya. Instead, many failures fed on one another until the whole system came apart. Here is the part history was slowest to face. National Geographic reported archaeological evidence that, in some cities, collapse came through violence. At one site in a specific year, the city suffered a brutal attack. The royal family and members of the nobility were murdered, their bodies dumped without ceremony, their dynasty erased in a single event. This was not a gentle decline into abandonment. In places, the ruling order was hunted down, slaughtered, and thrown away like refuse. The Maya were never one unified empire. They were dozens of rival city-states, and as resources dwindled, competition curdled into total war. Neighboring kingdoms turned on each other, sacking cities and toppling dynasties. Where earlier conflicts had rules and rituals, the end game grew merciless. Trade routes broke, alliances shattered, and the loss of one city could trigger the fall of another. The collapse spread not just through nature, but through human hands tearing the region apart from within. One truth history nearly buried is that the Maya never truly vanished. Millions of their descendants still live across Guatemala, Belize, and southern Mexico today, speaking Maya languages. What collapsed was not a people, but a political and social order, the world of god-kings and monumental cities. The disturbing implication is what that means for us. A sophisticated civilization, confident and enduring, unraveled not from one disaster, but from the slow poison of pressures it could no longer control. This is why historians resisted the full story for so long. A single dramatic cause, a drought or an invasion, is comforting because it feels like bad luck. But the real answer is harder to swallow. The Maya collapse was self-inflicted as much as natural. Environmental overreach, inequality, and endless conflict amplifying a changing climate. Strip away the jungle and the centuries, and the pattern looks unsettlingly familiar. That, more than any single ruin, is what history quietly tried to bury. The Maya did not disappear overnight, and they did not die from one simple cause. Their cities fell to a tangle of drought, violence, exhaustion, and ambition, a slow collapse dressed up for centuries as a single mystery. The stones remain, but the warning inside them is what lingers. No civilization is too grand to unravel. If this deep dive changed how you see the past, subscribe and stay with us as we uncover more truths history